statements. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, every person knows full well, literally speaking, whatever this person sent forward, قدمت, and whatever this person left behind or procrastinated. Now, what does that mean to send forward and behind? We can understand this in our times in simple ways, but before we come to the analogies, let's look at some things that have been said by the ulama. One of the things by qaddama, to send forward, it refers to the good deeds that you do, or the bad deeds that you do. Qaddama could be the good deeds that you do, and the bad deeds that you do. What does it mean? Why didn't Allah say just they do them? He said they send them forward. You know nowadays you send an email, you hit send, can you get it back? No, it's gone. Words. Like when you're writing a letter, you can change your words. But when you're speaking to someone, once you've said it, can you take it back? It's too late. It's gone. It's been sent. Even now we understand this much better. Somebody explained this 100 years ago, probably couldn't have used the email example, right? But now Allah has made it easier for us to even understand, how do you send something forward? How do you forward something literally? Subhanallah. Every time we do something, every time we say something, every act that we do, good or bad, it has now been sent, mailed, FedEx, delivered for processing. It's been sent forward. Now, the means of delivery, what's the means of delivery when an action is sent? Like nowadays, we have technology, computers, or we have FedEx, or we have the United States Postal Service. What is Allah's means of, first of all, getting this stuff recorded and then getting it delivered? So later on in the surah, we'll see the angels who write. How this is sent forward. The mechanism by which this is sent forward. That's coming up in the same surah. Right? So عَلِمَتْ نَفْسٌ مَا قَدَّمَتْ وَأَخَّرَتْ. So this is the first thing. What a person does good is sent forward. What bad he does is also sent forward. Now the other thing is akharat. What was left behind? This is very powerful too. There were opportunities to do good things that you didn't take. You had to wake up for salah. You should have come to the masjid. You should not, you should have given sadaqah when they were having that fundraiser, when they were asking for help. So when these opportunities of good come, and the person does not take them, he left that opportunity behind. Also, there were opportunities to sin, to do something bad. And this person, he had the opportunity to do the wrong thing, but he left it behind, he didn't touch it. He left it behind. So this is an example of what he left behind. So قَدَّمَتْ وَأَخَّرَتْ. Every person will know very well, what are the things that they sent forward, what are the things that they have to now show for themselves, أحضرت from the previous surah, what are the things that they left behind. And some of the things that we left behind, we will be sorry that we left them behind. And some of the things that we left behind, we'll say, I'm so happy I left that behind. Right? I'm so happy I left that behind. So in Quran we'll find a passage of, in kana li, qareen. I used to have a friend back in the day. Right? And I'm so happy I didn't stay friends with you, man. So he'll look over and he'll look at the guy in the hellfire and he'll say, I found my promise to be true. What about you? You having a good time down there? Right? And he's going to say, I'm so happy. You almost got me too. In kittalatul deen. Almost you turned me back too, man. You almost messed me up. What the first things you did in life and the last things you did in life. Taqdeem and ta'khir, that which comes early, that which comes later. Meaning your complete history. A complete biographical analysis of your life. So maybe in the early times of your life, you were good. And later on in your life, you changed from being good and you kind of got rusty and you stopped, your commitment withered away from deen. The other is true too. Maybe you were a party animal at some point in your life. And then something changed and later on in your life, you became more and more righteous. So, مَا قَدَّمَتْ وَأَخَّرَتْ. Some of the ulama comment that this is even scarier for those who are old in age and only turn to Allah when they realize that one foot is in the grave. And they have to think back how much of their youth did they waste doing certain other things. And now they've turned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. مَا قَدَّمَتْ وَأَخَّرَتْ. The things you do have been sent forward. And you will also be sent forward. You will be gone too. But the consequences of what you did, the impact of what you did, if you helped in the building of a masjid, you sent something forward that's good for you, you've gone too. But then will people benefit even after you're gone? For generations and generations and generations? And on the other hand, if you, decided, the liquor store is a good business, and you got into it, and you fed your children that haram money, and then your son inherited that store, and the haram income continued and continued and continued, and whose neck is that on? Subhanallah. Right? You don't just do the thing, it leaves consequences behind. So مَا قَدَّمَتْ وَأَخَّرَتْ. Such a powerful, such a small thing, and how powerful this phrase. And it comes in correlation with, you will really acknowledge, you will really appreciate what you have done, what you've sent forward, and what you've left behind, when these things start happening. So from the very beginning, وَإِذَا السَّمَاءُ انْفَطَرَتْ. When the sky is torn open, and when the stars start falling apart, and when the graves are topsy-turvy, they're manipulated and turned over and people are retrieved, at this point you're, oh my God, what have I sent forward? What have I left behind? Right? Then you will realize,